The school-to-prison pipeline is really informal and formal policies that affect students that lead them to the prison system from the education setting. So it could be any kind of school violations that lead to expulsions or suspensions, and it could be negative contacts with a police department that leads to citations or arrests. We know that students who are being expelled or suspended or cited or arrested are much more likely to then drop out of high school, and students who drop out of high school are also more likely to then be arrested and be a part of the juvenile justice system or the adult justice system. The way to address the school-to-prison pipeline is to increase any kind of positive opportunities that students may have to work with their teachers, to work with other peers, to work with the police officers. When students see police officers, we want them to know that they're there to keep them safe and to have someone that they can confide in if there was an issue. Schools don't have to have a police officer in their schools, and schools don't have to have these contracts. But if they choose to have officers in their school, then there should be clear defined roles for each party so they know what to do and what not to do. Previously, the old contract didn't have really clear rules and stipulations about if an officer really needed to question a student, what's the process, right? If there were exigent circumstances, what does that mean? What defines exigent circumstances? And so now this contract clearly defines it. We really give the schools training and background information on that. And if our officers want to have student data, student information, access to a student to interview them, then there's actually a process that everyone has agreed on now to figure out if the officer should actually talk to the student, and who should be involved, and when should they get involved. So the whole goal is to create the most positive school bonding and the most positive social bonding that we can have with our police department, with our schools, with our students. We want kids to feel like they belong in schools and stay in school. This contract allows us to work on the roles and responsibilities for our school resource officers and the school's administrators, and it also provides for training for our officers.